welcome back to the Real Kiz podcast, where we talk real talk. I'm Annabelle, your host, and today I have another Anna Bee. She is Anna Dancing, Anna underscore dancing on Instagram, and she is a social dancer of Urban Kiz and Tango, also a tango teacher, and she's also a dance educator. So we are going to hear some good shit today from her. So in our last episode, we talked about the underlying problems in the dance scene that have led to the development of the Book Your Dance app. And if you haven't listened to that episode, go ahead and listen to it first, because we're going to be making references about it in this episode, because today we're going to talk about the implications of the Book Your Dance app and what that could potentially mean for the Urban Kiz and Kizomba dance communities. Thanks for joining us today, Anna.
Thank you so much for having me. I am very excited. A warm welcome to everybody, and I really hope that you will enjoy our talk. Let's get started.
Yes, so when I first saw the reel introducing the Book Your Dance app, I have made a connection between paying for dances with artists being the same as paying for sex. And a lot of people didn't like that. Albir himself didn't like that. And people have felt uncomfortable with that comparison. But I really don't think that it's that far off, because even though dance itself is not sensual or sexual, it is the same kind of intimate connection where you are sharing your physical body, you are sharing your energetics, your energies, you're sharing your nervous system. I mean, you can feel each other's breath and heartbeat. It is that intimate. And there are also people who will not be paying for dances with artists, because artists will happily dance with them for free. So we're going to have a tier of dancers who will not have to pay for dances with artists. And then there's going to be that tier who, in order to ever dance with an artist, will have to pay. So just like in, sex, some men, they have no problem getting women. They have that confidence, that aggression. They have what it takes in order to secure that connection with a woman. And then some men, the less experienced men, shy men who simply don't have what it takes, they resort to escort service and paying for sex. So in that sense, I really don't think that the two are that different. It is interesting that the genders are reversed, because when it comes to sex, men are the one who feel, sometimes inadequate and resort to paying for it. And in paying for dances with artists, it will be females, mostly women, who are put in that position. What do you think, Anna?
Yes, honestly, I really don't think that it's such a far-off comparison. Yes, it might hurt to hear us say that, but it's, just like you said, it is a very intimate situation, whether we want it or not. And yes, there are just, so many things going on when you accept a dance, no matter what genre. Is it Urban Kiz? Is it Tarasho? Is it douceur, whatever the mood, the moment, social, party, festival, the hour of the day. Yes, you are giving yourself, whether you want it or not, actually, or someone might take your energy. They will be draining your energy. They will be feeding off your energy. There's a reason why women usually dress up very pretty. The hairdo, the makeup, the dress, perfume, everything. Most guys also do the same. We honor ourselves and then we honor the other person. We do want to look attractive. We do want to look nice. So why be afraid? Let's just call things what they are.
Yeah, and it's sex appeal.
Yes. And so, it is also part of our confidence. If I just woke up after 3 hours of sleep after a night party at a festival, of course, I'm not gonna feel so confident and sexy, and so I have a choice of going to the social in my PJs, which a lot of people do, which is completely fine, but I can also put on light makeup, a cute dress, and then feel instantly a lot better about myself. So let's not kid ourselves. This is part of this world, this is part of real life, and I'm not saying that we do it in order to seduce someone. But when we look at the mirror, we want to look good. We want to like what we see. And this is part of it. And so, well, the energetic exchange, everything that goes into it, with a good dancer, and by good dancer, I just mean a good person, someone who listens to you, someone who will respect you, someone who will take time to get to know the dancer that you are in that moment with that music. They will take the time to connect with you, and that goes for whoever, leaders, followers, And so the thing is, the first thing that we do is we take, each other's hand, and then we put the other hand on the shoulder, whatever. So there's a physical contact already. If it's the summer, it's a skin-to-skin contact, and that can be immediately very, very intimate, And then what happens? You go downstairs, you see someone, you hear music, you think, oh wait, I want to dance with that person. So you try to establish some kind of contact, you try to invite them. There's a whole magical, thing happening, and it's just so amazing that you can meet someone that you wouldn't think, would turn out to be a very good partner, dancer, connection, whatever will happen on the dance floor. But it is magical if you're lucky enough, if you are genuinely open and just want to share your passion and connect. Now, if we introduce a payment option, that means that I know that on Saturday night at 2 a.m. I will dance 15 minutes with so-and-so. All of this is gone out the window. There's no more magic, there's no more serendipity, there is no, surprise as to who I'm going to meet and how the dance is going to be. And so let's not confuse things, When you pay for sex, you buy a service, you buy intimacy. So obviously that person will make you feel like you're welcome, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're an amazing lover. But it's not true. I mean, it can be, yes, of course, the person can have a lot of fun with you, but still, they are there because you pay them to be there. For dance, it is exactly the same. Do not tell me that all those women who wait hours in line and then finally it's their turn, the dancer who has been dancing for hours straight without a bathroom break, without water break, a snack break, whatever, that their connection and their enthusiasm, if they show any, is real. I cannot believe that it is so. Because I know that, in the rare occasions when I actually said yes to someone when I wanted to say no, I'm having a hard time flipping the switch and be present and genuinely be happy that I'm dancing with that person. And I'm not saying that all the dances that we are going to have to be the best of our lives. But it should be, I am dancing with you now because I want to dance with you, not because you paid for me to dance with you.
Yes, it's like you are buying access to someone's body. I mean, how weird does that sound? It's like you are renting their body for, a certain amount of time. How weird is that?
Yes, exactly. So this is why I think that most people who get offended, and I really don't mind who they are, it's for a reason. Honestly, if you get offended by all the people who don't see it as a godsend, as a perfect solution to a very real problem, that's ever growing, I think, it might be for a reason. It might be because there is a problem with it.
And I am actually for a lottery system that would allow follows to reserve or even win a slot to dance with an artist at a certain point during the night. So let's say you do have this artist hour for an hour or so during the night social, and women can enter to either first come, first serve, reserve their spot online on a website, or they can win through like a lottery system a spot to dance with them on the same app or website, but it's free. I feel like it's the same concept, but the energetics behind it are totally different.
Let's make a game out of it. Yeah. Because also imagine you do have a good connection with someone who has been waiting for an hour, but you have to stop after 2 songs. because your slot is up. And how will you measure time? Is it 20 minutes? Is it 3 songs? Because those are not the same. So, are the artists are going to have a buzzer on their wrist or something that tells them, hey, your time's up? Is the person who paid for the dance going to have a buzzer, to let them know it's time to go, babe? It seems, kind of dystopian, and I would say ridiculous if it wasn't sort of masking many problems. And I don't think that this is the right approach, at least not to pay for it, definitely. Because yes, they are already arguing and complaining, rightfully so, in most of the cases, I believe, and that they are not treated well with the respect that they deserve. So how monetizing their time is going to help this? How is this going to give them more value? Because sure, you need to pay your bills, but money isn't everything. And dance, social dance, should not be about money. And I'm really sad to see the proportions that it's taking. Artists, teachers, whoever won a competition asking for like insane amounts of money, no matter what they do, privates, socials, whatever the context. So I really cannot believe that this is the way to go. I think we're going backwards and not forward. And if all the people, the true, let's say, Kizomba dancers from the source, from Angola, and all those, countries and cultures are offended about and because of Urban Kiz, I cannot imagine what they must think if they ever hear wind of it, because this is like one of the highest treason for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see a traditional Kizomba dancer post about this, and they were opposed to this, and they were saying, you can't buy connection. Authentic dance connection cannot be bought. And when Albir made that video and he was saying, oh, this is genuine, like you can truly connect with who you dance, it's like, what? How? There is nothing genuine about paying someone, essentially forcing them through a monetary exchange to dance with you. I think the most authentic way to go about this would be to come up to them whenever you see them at a festival, in the hallway, after their class, after their workshop, and tell them, hey, I would really love to dance with you tonight or at the day social. Just state it. Talk to them like they're humans. Talk to them like you would to like any other lead or follow. Like, I would love to dance with you. Just state your intention. Let it be no. Let them know that you want to dance with them. And if they should find you later, at the day social or at the night social, if they see you, then they will have that chance to ask you. Like, I really think that artists should be given the freedom to ask follows to dance, to ask people to dance. They should dance with who they want to dance. And they should have the freedom to ask instead of being grabbed. And literally, I feel like sometimes women are fighting over them. It's so aggressive. And it's very uncomfortable for them. I think at KZL, I saw, two women like run up to the artist at the same time. And the artist was just like, I don't know, like, you figure it out. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, stop it.
Yes, I definitely agree. And this is also the thing, we talk a lot about respect. I think that follows women who do this, who wait for hours and hours, should respect themselves as well, as not to, well, I'm not gonna say the word that just came to my mind.
Don't say it.
To be too, well, not to whore ourselves out. Like, if we are staying with the same concepts, because to me it's a little bit like that, again, you dress up well, perfume, nice hair, whatever, high heels, and then yes, you fight your way to the top of the line, and then you're just eyeing the artist as if you were a vulture, sort of circling around them.
Yes, and exactly. Vultures circling, sharks circling.
Yes, we like to say that about men, the predators, the creeps, that they are circling just like sharks within the water. Now, I think that these women often do the same. And I remember it happened to me once that I was waiting for not even a big artist, but at Battle Kiz, one of the guys who was competing, because I was like, oh, well, okay, it would be nice, if I could dance with him. And then quickly I realized that all the women are just lining up in front of me. And I did not know what was going on. And I got really pissed. And I was like, you know what? It's already 4 a.m. I am going to see if I can dance with someone else. Sure, he's an amazing dancer, a very nice person. I don't need this. I don't need this kind of negative energy. It's a waste of time, a waste of my energy. So yeah, I think it's not worth it at the end of the day. We are worth more, we should know that. And I'm really glad to see that more and more women are leading. Although many of these women who want to dance with the male artists will not accept the dance from them. I know that, and that's their problem, that's their prerogative, no issue with that. But also, there are so many women, and we have to be conscious about the fact that together we are stronger. So, if we keep on literally stepping on another woman's toes, again, we are not building the welcoming, healthy community that some of us, like to pretend that we are. We are definitely not. There are just so many problems with the kissing in general, I think, which is really sad to see because, it's a popular dance, popular meaning it was, I think, rather lower socioeconomic classes who first brought it about, just like many other dances. So let's respect that as well. Let's be really welcoming. Let's not forget how we come from. Every dancer was a beginner one day. We all stepped into a classroom one day, scared shitless, not knowing left from right, and no friends. We didn't know the teacher, we weren't friends with the teachers. And today, what's happening? If an artist goes to a festival, they mostly stay with their friends who are also artists, DJs, teachers, organizers, and it creates this very elitist, very closed clique, and you
Yes.
sort of get the you can't sit with us feeling, and that's really unhealthy, and it's just not nice to be confronted with that. And so me coming from the tango world, there are rules, and for the most part it works. Why does it work? Because most people know about them and they respect them, and those who don't will get shunned and rejected with reason, because we do need some sort of rules and the frame, in this chaotic and crazy world. And it doesn't mean that the magic is gone. This allows us to be in a safe space, being respected, and you still get rejected. I still spent many, many nights, just sitting on the sidelines, getting more and more frustrated because all I wanted to do was dance. And that happens, that's life. But still, there are ways to do it. And then, especially for men, because I know that it's not easy to invite someone. You can be intimidated. I'm learning how to lead. I am scared shitless sometimes, So thank you. It is not easy. It is. I've always known it wasn't easy, and it's really not easy, especially going up to someone that you don't know when your own basics are not the best yet. You're still struggling. So yeah, it's not easy. But I have seen so many guys literally run across the dance floor and just asking in a very visible manner, "Hey, do you want to dance?" And because I was waiting for someone, I said, "Well, no, thank you." And then they were very disappointed. Everybody could see that he got rejected, and no one cares why, no one cares about the reason. All they care about is, oh, that guy got rejected. So, there's this double side where they will look at me like, oh, she rejected him, and then they will be like, oh, poor guy. When in reality, he could have saved himself the embarrassment and the bad feeling had he just looked at me from the other side of the dance floor, gestured, "Do you want to dance?" I would have politely said, "No, thank you." End of story, we move on with our lives. So I really think that there are lessons to be learned. And I am a very vocal advocate for these kind of small changes because there's a lot of savagery going on. And I think it's also because, yes, many people come from diverse, lower socioeconomic classes, maybe, and this might be a way for them to get friends, earn money when they start teaching or whatever, and that's all fine. But if you were not lucky enough to be brought up in a proper household, have a good education, and I'm not talking about academic education, but life skills, how to properly behave in society, how to treat women, then why not be a platform where we actually, actively talk about these things? So I really believe that every class, no matter the setting, festival, social, night party, should have a 1 minute introduction as to, hi guys, hi girls, this is what it is, a few basic rules. Because yes, many of them do that, how to invite, how to reject an invitation, not to take it personally. Still, some of them will tell you, okay, you put your hand out and then you invite. Sometimes even that is something that makes us feel like I have to put my hand in your hand and I have to say yes because you were kind enough to respectfully invite me. No, I can still, feel like saying no to you in that moment, and it doesn't matter why. It mostly have nothing to do with them. It's just me, whatever. And we don't owe an explanation. We certainly shouldn't lie. Oh, I'm just resting. I'm waiting for some. No, no, because then usually what happens is the next moment someone else that you actually do want to dance with will invite you, and now you're in a pickle. Oh shit, do I accept? I just rejected this person. It's not nice. This is not something that you do, and then they will feel bad, and then they will call you out on it. Sometimes they actually do call you out on it, and then you cannot really say, oh well, tough luck, baby, you actually did lie. You weren't resting. So yeah, there are many aspects, but I wish that people took examples of real life as well. Meaning, before you danced kizomba, before it existed, what did you do? You were in university, you went to a bar or high school, whatever. What's your preference? What was your life like before? You went to a bar, you saw a pretty girl, a handsome guy. You looked over, you made them know just by looking at them that you're interested. You want to buy them a drink, whatever, you want to chat with them. And then if the response was positive, if they looked like yes, they wouldn't mind, then you moved closer, you bought them a drink, whatever. Why not bring this onto the dance floor? I don't understand how it's so complicated, how it's rude. And it still doesn't mean that you cannot go up to someone, ask them, hey, do you want to dance? As long as it's done in a respectful manner. Of course, many things go. But in tango, for example, if a guy, comes up to me and, holds out his hand and then will ask me, hey, do you want to dance? When I'm in deep conversation with someone, the answer will most likely be no. Because that also means that that person doesn't really know how to dance, because he doesn't know the fact that if he just looks at me once, twice, 3 times and sees what's going on, what my response is, then he can see, okay, do I actually want to stop my conversation and go dance with them? And if I'm in conversation with someone and I want to go dance with someone, I will do the same. I will be looking, I will be like, sorry, I'm listening to you, but I do want to dance. So I will be shopping, I will be looking, oh yeah, I do want to dance with that guy. I will try and catch their attention. If I manage to, I will politely say, sorry, let's keep this conversation going later. I will now go and dance. And
Yeah, I really like the concept of making eye contact and getting people's attention. I think in the Urban Kiss community, people are uncomfortable with eye contact. I feel like Urban Kiz has been reduced to a series of complex moves. It's like, okay, what can I make you do? How much can you follow? And men are literally just looking down on the floor. Watch some Urban Kiz videos. You will see the men looking down on the floor, watching feet. They're watching feet. They're not watching your face. They're not watching your facial expression. They're not trying to make eye contact with you. They're not trying to connect with you in any way. It's all about moves, cross, leg lift, all these things. It's like the connection part is gone. And I want to go back to what you said about the elitist hierarchy. And I have noticed that as well. I've noticed, especially in Europe, that when I go to big festivals and I see groups of people from the same dance school and they're all hanging out together. And these are people who they train with and they dance with, and that's like their clique, and that's who they dance with. because they know that they're on the same level and they know that they can challenge each other, and that's great. But you're at a social. Can we just bring back being social to a dance social? Because you should be there to meet more people, make new dance connections. Not just people that you see on Instagram and you're like, oh yes, I want to dance with that person because I know they're good. I want to dance with them because I've seen their videos, I know they're good. But dance with the person you've never laid eyes before in your life. Dance with someone you've never danced with before. Like, take a chance. 2 songs is not going to kill you. Bring back that compassion and realize that, yeah, I may be great now, but there was a time when, like, I was really shitty. And just realize that everyone's at a different level and it's okay. Like, it's okay if you dance with someone who's not on the same level as you. It won't kill you.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I think, again, a good dancer, in my opinion, is someone who can adapt and adjust. So when I'm a taxi dancer or a guest dancer, I am still honored to be there because, not everybody is invited. And honestly, not everybody can and should teach. And I love to educate. And to me, those are two different things. And I have a lot of passion to, share. But I always make it a thing where I dedicate some time to ask the guys who look shy, who I know are still beginners. And then I am in beginner mode myself. I'm like, okay, well, que será, será. Whatever comes, I will deal with it and I will try and make this dance as nice for them as possible. I will try not to put faces if they make a mistakes. If they keep apologizing, I might say, no need, like, just chill, It's not a competition. There's no pressure. There shouldn't be any pressure. It's useless to put so much pressure on ourselves, on the other person. And I feel like there might be a lot very often, especially if it's a festival. You see that there are many good dancers, teachers. There's a cameraman looking, walking around, and then you see the lights just getting closer and you feel like, oh my god, you have to do your best. No, we all have off days. Be compassionate, be humble enough to know that we all have our own timeline and journey. And yes, that is okay, and that is the amazing thing. So a very advanced dancer who can, crap out 100 complicated moves in 30 seconds is no better or not nicer to dance with as someone who can make more with less, someone who can make me feel. I remember when I first realized what Dusser was, and I had one dance, and unfortunately I don't remember the guy, but I remember the feeling when we were basically standing, and it was very late in the night, and the music was very slow, but I realized that he was actually making me move body parts of my upper body that I didn't think of using or moving before in Kiz, because it's not something that we usually do. And it was just amazing. Less is more. And in this context, it means that if you have a beginner, leader, or follow, then adopt, adjust. Then don't try to make, the same complicated stuff 5 times and then make them feel shitty about themselves because they couldn't do it. Don't be frustrated if they make a mistake, unless they are rough or, really uncomfortable or making you feel uncomfortable. Then just give them grace, just like you should give yourself grace, because you know as well, like a true artist will know that it is not a direct, linear journey. It's not like I start here and then this is how I go. It's on the contrary, it's always going back and forth, round and round in circles. So we have to keep that in mind, and I think that many people tend to forget that. And I mean, it's normal, obviously, that we will be with our people, with our friends, with our groups. It's completely natural. But yes, indeed, let's be open enough just to the possibility that you can meet a person who will surprise you. I appreciate a lot more a beginner who is clean and clear and soft. And by soft, I don't mean no energy and no frame, but you can make someone cry with, I don't know, with 8 counts of beautifully connecting. It happened to me at class or or at a social, that we were just flowing through the dance floor. And this is what we should aim for if we are aiming for something.
My own personal mantra is I don't want to dance with anyone who doesn't want to dance with me. And usually that is why I'm pretty hesitant to ask leads. I prefer to be asked because that way, if they ask me, then I know for a fact that they want to dance with me. If I ask them, then it's like, did they say yes because they want to dance with me, or did they say yes because they feel bad saying no? And I'm just not sure. But if someone does tell me no, then I'm like, okay, that's totally fine. Of course, I appreciate you honoring your no, but also I will not ask them again because I have let my desire be known, and now they know that I want to dance with them. And if they want to dance with me, then they will ask me. And if they don't want to dance with me, then they will not ask me. And then, of course, I will not ask someone who doesn't want to dance with me. And I feel like that sentiment and that practice should really extend to artists. I feel like it should extend to everyone on the dance floor. And I just feel like dancers will be so much happier when they know that I'm dancing with someone who wants to dance with me. That just feels good. That mutuality just feels safe. You automatically feel safe with someone when you know that they want to dance with you. They want to be here, I want to be here. It's mutual, it's safe. The dance is going to be 1,000 times better.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you said so many things that are so true. Just so true. And you know, maybe start with the fact that we really tend to, I think collectively, artists definitely play into that, but put them on a pedestal and make them as if they were semi-gods or something, you know, as if they descended from Olympus itself. They did not. They also were born clueless one day, and now they are here. No matter how they got there, they are the ones on the flyer. They are the ones that you came for the festival for, whether it is to take a private, a master class, a group class, or dance with them. It doesn't matter. But indeed, organizers should respect them, you know. So, side note, a union, yes, please. I mean, why not? Obviously, because it is a job, it is a serious one. Artists themselves should respect each other and themselves, and yes, demand what is right, demand what they feel like they need. And that doesn't mean completely off the charts, useless and idiotic demands, you know, but basic respect, normal hours, breaks, what have you. And attendees should respect them as well. We should really treat them as people indeed, because when you just see them off the street, you don't know who they are. Just like you said in the other episode with Monica. And that is a hard truth, I think. Some of them might love the fame, but it's 15 seconds on Instagram, so honey, chill out. At the end of the day, you are no one. And outside of this very almost incestuous small world of Kizomba, or dance even, no one knows who the hell you are. And no one gives a fuck, to be quite honest. So you can preach whatever you want, spirituality, connection, sharing, whatever. Half of it is pure marketing crap. Unfortunately, we women, certain women know it all too well that, you know, it's just smoke and mirrors, nothing more. And yes, we should, you know, you mentioned, and I loved it that you said that you had a list of your manifestations and intentions. I think that everybody should pick what suits them, and intention might be, in my opinion, the best thing, because then you can really try and bring your own positive and good energy, and that will attract the same thing. And yes, treat those people with respect as dancers as they are, and most of them are amazing dancers and very nice people. But I also understand the fact that when they see all those people, you know, lined up waiting to dance with them, whether it's a self-inflicted pressure or really from the organizers, yes, I know that they can feel like, okay, I have to be there, I have to give myself, I have to share myself, I have to dance with them. No, let's, you know, take this pressure off of them, and let's allow them to just be. If you want to spend the whole festival with your friends behind the DJs, fine. That's the kind of
Yeah.
person that you are. If you're the kind of person who will come, off of Olympus and then mingle with the common mortals, thank you for that. Be that kind of person. But us as attendees, when we just go to a festival and pay a shit ton of money, and yes, most of them are women, we are the ones funding these festivals and allowing them to live, their dream, to pay their bills by being an artist, whether it's full time or part time. We also have to accept the fact that they are not the dance monkeys that we want them to be. It's not a joyride. And again,
Yeah.
this connects to, yes, paying for sex and paying for dance. No, it's not a joyride. It's not an amusement park. It's a dance festival. So you should privilege, just going there with an open heart and good intentions, and then see what gives. And then if you happen to meet an artist and then they are free and they want to dance with you, yes, how amazing that is. Because no, you cannot buy that connection. I cannot believe that the person who claims that you cannot buy the genuine connection believes it themselves. There must be something very wrong around here, if we actually start telling ourselves that, oh, I can just buy real connection. No, you cannot. Of course, you cannot. And yes, it's the same for me, whether it's a girl or boy, lead, follow, it doesn't matter. Sometimes, yes, I am afraid to ask someone to dance because I don't know, would they honestly accept my yes? And luckily there are some leads who see that you're hesitating when you're debating whether, oh, do I accept it or not? I don't know, maybe I was really resting. Do you look trustworthy enough? Do you look safe enough? And they're like, no, you don't have to accept. And then that alone often makes me feel like, no, actually it's fine. I am gonna give you a shot because you look like a nice person, so it can be an amazing dance. And it's really nice to say that, and that can change the game. It can put you into a safer moment, and then you can feel like, okay, it's fine, let's just have fun with it. And then worst case scenario, yes, you stop even after one dance. Let's not again limit ourselves and force us to suffer through three dances. No, if a dance is really bad, you get one chance. Like, you don't have to rush into it. You don't have to immediately start stepping, whatever. Just go with the flow and try to tune into my energy, just like I should also try into your energy. And so these things, there are many, many things, many stars that should align for you to have good experiences. But why not make it happen? Why not be an active part of it and respect everybody, no matter who they are? Because indeed, when you're a beginner, you have no idea, no clue who these people are. And then sometimes it happened to me that, I was also sort of laughed at, like, oh, you don't know who those people are. No, I don't. I mean, I don't spend my life on Instagram, looking for the stars and whatnot. I have a life. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I still can have zero clue about, some kind of internationally known dancers and artists, and that's okay. Let's just give respect to ourselves and to other people. And how are you going to respect someone else if you're not respecting yourself, and vice versa? So, having manners, like not grabbing a girl, because usually it's, girls. There's no need to tiptoe around it. And I also think sometimes it doesn't fix the problem. Calling ourselves and us and everybody and each other leader and follower, there is still a huge amount of inequality, whether it's payment, respect, conditions, working conditions, So calling ourselves follows when we don't get paid as much as a leader, it doesn't make any difference. It's just masking the problem. It's just shifting the focus. It's not going to change anything. It's just semantics. This is not what makes any difference. Let's try and bring awareness, and we're not going to change the world, but still just educate the people who weren't educated. Like, no, it's not okay to grab someone. If you see someone walking off the dance floor with a purpose and she looks like she's about to leave, well, then you can try and get in front of her and ask, oh, hey, are you really leaving? Because clearly she is. So, yeah. And then you can just state, just like you said with dancers, like, hey, I really want to dance with you. And then, yeah, you can tell them, oh, that's a shame. would you dance with me at some other time? Instead of grabbing them by the shoulder, the arm, whatever, and dragging them onto the dance floor. And okay, I let you reflect, and then maybe let's talk about the fact that with so much pressure as well, we often say yes when we really mean to say no, and how it affects everybody around, because that's not okay either.
I do want to reiterate the dance hierarchy that the Book Your Dance app will create. So it will create hierarchy within artists. So who's charging how much per dance? I know right now they rolled it out, it's like at €1. But we know it's not going to stay at €1 for all the artists going forward. Artists are going to raise their prices. So it's like, okay, so-and-so charges this much and so-so charges this much. So like, are they more valuable to dance with? And it's going to create the hierarchy between dancers, mainly follows, that is going to separate us even more. Because like I said, some follows will still get to dance with the artists for free, and some will have to pay in order to dance with them, maybe every time. And if follows think that it's worth it for them, just like some men will always pay for sex because that is ultimately what they want, and they will do whatever it takes to get what they want. So some follows will also do whatever it takes to get what they want. So if they really want a dance with an artist, they will pay however it takes. They will pay, they will do whatever it takes to get that dance with them. But is it worth it? And to what end? And why? And what does that do for you? What are you hoping that it's going to do for you? Is dancing with an artist going to make you a better dancer? No. Is it going to elevate your social status? I mean, bragging rights with your friends, but not really. Is it going to make you feel better about yourself? Why? Yeah, I don't see the appeal. I mean, I can understand wanting the experience and wanting to experience that connection that you see them have in their demos, but you have to understand, and this is something very important that everyone has to understand. The connection that you see these artists have with their dance partners in their demos is not going to be the same connection that they're going to have with each and every single other person. You're not going to have the same connection with them that they have with their partner or some other dancer. It's going to be different for everyone, regardless of skill level. So if that's what you're looking for, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yes, indeed. The fact that in real life of the dance floor, we're not friends with everybody. And this goes with dancers as well. So it happened with me that, I was invited by a good dancer, and I'm not a bad dancer myself, I believe. And the dance was not very good because we didn't click, because, we just didn't match. And it happens, and that's all right. And we really have to accept the fact that, no, you cannot dance perfectly with everybody because you don't match with everybody. Maybe their style is not, yours at the end of the day. Maybe from the outside it looks like they are an amazing lead, but actually they are not. So it really depends. It's a very subtle thing as well. And yeah, just like you said, how does it really make them feel like do you go back to your room after a party, at a festival, and think, oh my god, I just danced with so and so, it was so amazing, and now I feel so honored and so elevated and happy and good? I cannot believe it, because it is sort of a forced yes. So consent, just like in sex. Again, anything less than an enthusiastic yes is a no.
Yes.
And has to be treated as such, because so these artists feel the pressure or pressured, and they will say yes to everybody, or whoever's next in line. And my god, yes, it must be really tiring and taxing and horrible, that you have to give yourself, and your cup is empty already, and there's no one to fill it, because we are not bottomless fountains of youth and energy and love and empathy and compassion. It needs to be nourished. And I think that, as much love as we can in ourselves and for ourselves, it also has to be nourished a little bit by our peeps, our family, our loved ones, our partner, dance friends, dance teacher, whatever, a good class. This is how you get, full again, and then you can share whoever you are and whatever you have. Now, if I force a yes by paying or really insisting with someone, that's not going to be the same outcome, and they are not going to be able to give me what I expect them, and I should not expect anything. So I was really shocked when Monica told about the time when she actually refused someone, and then she was against her will, dragged onto the dance floor. He danced with her, and then he had the audacity to complain and diss her out. That is not okay on so many levels, and there is an aggression of her being, of her person, and what a petty little man to actually call her out and completely, flip the script and say how mean she was and whatever things he said, because what the fuck. I mean, someone said no to you, you force that person to still dance with you, you expect them to be all happy and smiley about it and bubbly and cheery. And then if they are polite and they, I think, nervous smile or laugh or whatever and try to make the best of this shitty situation that they were forced into, you dare call them out and actually lie about that experience and, put them in a bad position and under bad light. That is really not okay, and that should absolutely not be possible, and these people should be called out publicly so that everybody knows that it's not okay, and it might not be dangerous now this time, but imagine this person cornering a woman alone, I don't know, in a hotel corridor or something, and then you guys fill in the blanks. Like, this is very, very similar, because indeed there can be a lot of sexual tension and energy on the dance floor, and I think many men and women, play with it, feed off of it, and it can turn into this sort of perverted, ego trip. That's not okay. If that's your thing, yeah, go pay for sex. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I don't care. You do whatever you want with your money and all. But yeah, just don't be telling me that now I can pay for a genuine experience with such and such artist, because no, that's not the case. And if you're the kind of artist who is more introverted in personal life and who doesn't actually enjoy sharing that much, yes, make it clear. Set boundaries. It's all right. You are a human being, We should not expect you to be out and about, up and running for 7 hours straight, after you have given class after class, and be there as if nothing happened. You are not robots. So that's normal. So we should really educate everybody about all these respects, that we should give to each other, no matter who they are, how famous they are on Instagram or whatever. If someone says yes when they actually mean no, then how is it better than politely declining an invitation? Because to me, the outcome is similar. Yes, I might be disappointed. Yes, I might feel hurt. That's on me. If I get offended because someone rejected me, that's a little bit on me, unless they were rude or something. And if they get offended when I politely reject someone, that's on them. I have not much to do with that. The other day I also got the point that, okay, but you're pretty, you're young, whatever. So imagine now a 50-year-old woman who's somewhat a beginner comes to a festival, and then the only chance she gets is to wait in line, fight for her spot, now pay for her spot, and that's it. But that's very sad. But then again, let's shift mindsets. Let's educate everybody on the dance floor so that these, and I'm not gonna say less fortunate, whatever, because I don't want to be condescending, but again, it is their journey. They might have discovered Kizomba or any other dance at 40 and they just started, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that you're a 25-year-old, young and fresh, beautiful person who already has a long, career in dance. That's perfectly fine as well. But let's try and balance things out a little bit. I remember I was once invited by a guy who was well into his 60s at least, and I was so surprised. He was nice, so I was like, okay, why not? And my first thought was, Grandpa can dance. I mean, I felt safe. Nothing creepy about it. Smooth, good moves. It was awesome. I really liked that dance. So again, it really depends on your energy. If you go, knowing who we are, where we are, why we go to dance. If you only go to dance to get girls, again, think again, please,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, those are all great points. Yeah, speaking of educating, especially new dancers, this is why I started the Kizomba mentorship project, is so that experienced dancers who know about these things can educate the younger, newer dancers coming on the scene. Because there is a lot of nuances to this dance, to this community. I don't know, it's its own world, really. And there's a lot for newcomers to learn that is just outside of the actual dance, but there are all these social norms. I feel like they all need mentors, like good mentors, like people who can guide them through all this and set them up for success. So this is my plug for the Kiz Mentorship Project. Check it out on Instagram. Check out Anna_dancing on Instagram. And thank you guys for joining us today and listening to our conversation. Let us know what you think. Bye.
Yes. So much. Bye.